Hi all, good afternoon. Welcome to today's session. We'll make a beginning on composition scheme under GST. As far as composition scheme is concerned, uh, it's a alternate method government brought in just to help all those people who do a small time business. Now let me repeat it. To start, before even start understanding all these discussions relating to composition levy, sir, in last session we discussed about normal levy and composition levy. We have what is the difference? Normal levy, where a person will pay tax at the rate notified by the government. Sometimes the rate notified by the government is 12% for a product, 18% for a product, 28%, or rarely certain products 5%. Now, so what is the benefit of composition levy? Let me repeat. I'll give you the benefit first so that you all can be awakened for that benefit. A composition levy person is liable to pay 1% GST. See, where is 28% for a product? Where is 1% for a product? Understand that gap. Now, that itself will give you a message that there will be a lot of conditions. It is not open for all. It comes with restriction. எல்லாத்தையும் இவ்வளவு கம்மியா கொடுக்க முடியாது. So there are certain segment of your industry which need to be protected. There are set of people. Not everybody do a same volume of business. Not every grocery shop owner sells in the same way. There are grocery shop who just make a small turnover. There are grocery shop who make a huge turnover. So there is a gap. Now government has understood that gap. Everybody's contribution is also wanted. You can't neglect that person is small, he does small turnover. You can't neglect him. From him, small contribution comes, it forms part of the bigger money. And in fact, all those small players are only huge in number. So for all said and done, take a, for a minute, think what is always conversant to us is, um, take a street like your Valluvar Kottam High Road, or no otherwise called as your Nungambakam High Road or Valluvar Kottam High Road, whatever be it, whatever way in which you're going to call it. You will have at least about 100 shops in that street. When you have 100 shops in that street, do you think all make all multi-crore turnovers? Exclude all those shops which has branches over there. If in case you see a Madras coffee house, ignore it. In case if you see a hotel Sangeeta, ignore it. If you see a Vasanta Bhavan, ignore it. If you see a Grace supermarket, ignore it. If you see a Pizza Hut, Pazhamudi Chola, ignore it. Now, why I'm highlighting is these are all shops which has multiple branches. Let me repeat, multiple branches throughout the city. Now, ignore them. So you would have ignored by this time 20 shops. Okay, understood. Balance 80 shops. Do you think all 80 shops will make all rocket turnovers? No. There will be a shop which will make only 35 lakhs per annum. There will be a shop, there will be a very small restaurant. Restaurant will make 65 lakhs per annum. See, per annum 65 lakhs, or how much? Come on. Per annum 65 lakhs means his bottom line after all expenses, his profit will be 6 lakhs. Do you think 6 lakhs profit is a great profit? You will have a printing and stationery shop, which sells toys, gift items, pen, pencil, paper. Per annum turnover of him will be 70 lakhs. He'll at least buy goods for 50 lakhs. Then he has to give salary for the employees, rent, his expenses. Hardly he'll make 15 lakhs or 12.5 lakhs profit. Now, the point that I want to drive home is Though there are 80 shops there in that one street, maybe a 10 shops or even less than that do a big size turnover. For me, big turnover is anything more than 1.5 crores is big turnover. For me, really big turnover is anything more than 5 crores. There is a recent statistics of the GST department says randomly you take 100 assessee, random. Assessees taken at random. Randomly you take 100 assessees. Only 7 assessees turnover is more than 5 crore. Let me repeat. On a random selection of 100 assessees, 7 assessee turnover is going to be what? More than 5 crore. Sir, rest all is more than 20 lakhs, which is the threshold for registration. More than 20 lakhs, but less than 5 crores. Now, the point that I want to drive home here is, be aware, large number of assessees are doing small time business. Now, we are going to discuss a scheme which will be applicable for all those small assessees, be it they deal with goods, be it they deal with services, with certain conditions and restrictions. நான் திருப்பி சொல்றேன், எந்த பெனிஃபிட் வந்தாலும் ஒரு கண்டிஷனோட தான் வரும். இதான் ரூலே. If you feel the benefit comes to you, it comes with a condition. There are institutions, there are organizations, there are schools, colleges, they say. We know colleges that they say, you are striving to pay your fees. It's difficult for you to pay your fees. Good. Pay the first year fees. Ensure in the first semester you get more than 90%. Next semester fee, don't pay. Your previous semester fee will be adjusted for next semester. Again, second semester, you get ensure more than 90%. The second semester fee now becomes free to you, that gets adjusted for third semester. The point that I want to drive home is there should be a condition. People should know the benefit that they are enjoying it. I am sorry. If we are so comfortable today, we are enjoying a benefit. That benefit, the Almighty grace, it reaches us comfortably sitting in our home. Comfortably, we could able to do whatever we want. We should thank the people around us who has given that benefit. In the same fashion, that benefit comes with some conditions. The benefit of listening me today, let me repeat it, I'll put it in this way, is a condition to you that you should prepare well, do exams well, ensure you make it up very big in life. Somebody sacrifices for you, somebody accepts for you. The same fashion here, government says, I as government will sacrifice, I as government will ask you not to pay big tax, provided you satisfy certain conditions, then you are eligible for this option. What are those conditions? What is those section? A discussion about that is happening at section 10 of CGST Act. Section 10 of CGST Act comes and discuss that in case of a person is interested in paying tax under composition levy. If a person is interested or person is opting to pay tax under composition levy, if a person is opting to pay tax under composition levy, first condition he should ensure is his previous year aggregate turnover. His previous year, a very careful word, aggregate turnover should not exceed more than 150 lakhs. So, if any person, registered person, whose previous year turnover, aggregate turnover, does not exceed 150 lakhs, then he is eligible to claim this exemption. First condition, about 11 conditions we have. Don't be bothered about that. Just be aware, we have to remember all these conditions. And if a person get tick every 11 condition, then only he can use the benefit. else he is not eligible for the benefit. To start with, from the section, 9 conditions will come. In this slide and the next slide, we will discuss about 9 conditions. All 9 plus 2 more conditions will come from your rule. If these conditions are satisfied only, he is eligible. Otherwise, he is not eligible. First condition, primary condition. This is the primary condition. Previous year aggregate turnover should not exceed 150 lakhs. That person, last year turnover, if you want to claim the composition levy for the financial year 2021, if a person wanted to opt a composition levy for the financial year 2021, he should ensure that 1920 financial year, his aggregate turnover does not exceed 150 lakhs. Let me repeat it, not turnover, aggregate turnover. What do we mean by a term aggregate turnover? It will include a taxable supply. It will include exempted supply. It will include your zero rated supply, that is exports or SEZ supplies, zero rated supply. It includes your non-taxable supply, supply which are not leviable to tax under this tax. When all this 4 is summed up together, for a pan-India basis, you will call it as a aggregate turnover under section 2, subsection 6. Recollect, we discussed a definition that is helpful here. So if a person's aggregate turnover crosses 150 lakhs, he is not eligible. So a person's aggregate turnover should be less than 150 lakhs. First condition. Yes, sir. We know my client turnover is just aggregate turnover is 45 lakhs. Yes, he is eligible. Sir, one of our client or one of the persons aggregate turnover is 68 lakhs previous year. Yes, eligible. Another client turnover is 162 lakhs, sir. He is not eligible. What turnover? Aggregate turnover. So we'll do one thing. I just want to know, have you understood this discussion? I'll draft a question, share it in your chat box, read through the question and reply me. A supplier in Tamil Nadu has supplied goods for a value mentioned below. Taxable supply of rupees 40 lakhs, exempted supply of rupees 60 lakhs, a supplier NTN has supplied the goods for a value of taxable supply 40 lakhs and exempted supply 60 lakhs during the month. Is he eligible to claim composition levy option? Is he eligible to claim composition levy? Yes or no? No. Why no? Yes, no. Rajendra Tilak. One more no I saw. Deepthi. Why no, Deepthi? ES is more. Exempted supply is more. அதனால நான் வெங்காயம் வந்து 60 லட்ச ரூபாய்க்கு விற்பேன். வெங்காயத்தோட காம்படிட்டிவ் ஒரு ப்ராடக்ட் சொல்லணுமே. தக்காளின்னு சொல்லாதீங்க, தக்காளியும் எக்ஸாம்டட். ஓகே, Okay. During the month. Okay. It was only for a month. So it is not eligible. Okay. Assume for a moment it is the year turnover itself is that's all. If that be the case. My intention here is very simple. A fellow has a turnover of this. See, let me repeat it. We want not this month turnover. We want last year turnover. Okay. This month, this year, this quarter, today, how much turnover? Not required. Last year, what is the turnover that is required? And it should strike to us. It is not only taxable supply. We should also add what? Exempted supply and decide. Again, it is a number computed on a pan India basis. Let me go for another real problem. A lot of you said yes, yes, no, 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 and all. But understand, current month, that period turnover and all is absolutely not relevant. What is more relevant is previous year turnover. R Limited, a trader has shop. A trader has shop in Tamil Nadu and Karnataka. The business model is he will purchase in that state and sell only in that state. Meaning thereby he buys that state, sells that state. During the year, taxable supply of goods sold in Tamil Nadu rupees 60 lakhs and Karnataka rupees 40 lakhs. Similarly, exempted supply of goods sold in Tamil Nadu 25 lakhs and Karnataka 35 lakhs. During the previous year. He wishes to know, will he be eligible to claim composition levy as per section 10 of the GST Act. R Limited is a trader who has a shop in Tamil Nadu and Karnataka. The business model of R Limited is that he will purchase the goods in that state and sell the goods only in that state. During the year, taxable supply of goods sold in Tamil Nadu 60 lakhs, Karnataka 40 lakhs. Similarly, exempted goods sold 25 lakhs and Karnataka 35 lakhs during the previous year. He wishes to know, will he be eligible to claim composition levy as per section 10? Yes or no? If you say yes, why yes? If you say no, why no? No, no, no. No, why no? One line. He is not eligible. Why? What makes you to trigger no? Yes. Yes or no? Sudarshan, why yes? Yes, he is eligible. If you're going to say why yes. No, he is not eligible. If you say why no. Quick, quick. I want a lot of you to answer. Quick, 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 quick. Aggregate turnover is how much you determine. Compare it, you can close it. See, we have 11 conditions. Then we have to do away with not doing some problems for something. So I want to do for everything. He will take a separate registration for Tamil Nadu. He will take a separate registration for Karnataka. No doubt. Pavitra, yes, eligible. Good. Why eligible? Deepthi, previous year turnover, aggregate turnover is within the limit. Okay, good. Amit, but you gave a different answer, no? Okay. Aggregate turnover means, will you calculate only for Tamil Nadu or you will calculate for pan India? One minute. Aggregate turnover means, will you calculate for pan India or you will calculate only for Tamil Nadu? Pan India நடிக்கிறீங்களா எல்லாரும்? When it is only for the state, if you have a separate registration, let him have how many registrations? Aggregate turnover means pan India calculation. Let me repeat. When R Limited will have a separate registration for Karnataka, separate registration for Tamil Nadu. Turnover of a state, look at my word, turnover of a state, turnover of a union territory means that state number alone you will calculate. If a word called as aggregate turnover is used, you have to calculate pan India basis as highlighted by lot of you. When you're going to calculate it for pan India basis, then if you add your Tamil Nadu turnover and Karnataka turnover, your aggregate turnover will be 160 lakhs. Taxable supply will be 60 lakhs plus 40 lakhs, that is Tamil Nadu and Karnataka, plus exempted supply will be 25 lakhs plus 35 lakhs, which makes up 160 lakhs of aggregate turnover. 160 lakhs crosses your 150 lakhs threshold. The supplier is not eligible to claim composition levy. What is the learning and takeaway to me, sir? A lot of you got it right. Let me repeat, except 2-3 people, a lot of you got it right that they are not eligible for composition scheme because they cross the threshold. Only few of you considered distinct person. அது நேத்தோட carry over effect. Okay. Sir, distinct person இல்லையா? நான் distinct person இல்லைன்னு சொல்லியே. They are distinct person. But aggregate turnover னு வந்துருச்சுனா, இந்த பாக்கெட்ல 100 ரூபாய் இருக்கு. இந்த பாக்கெட்ல 100 ரூபாய் இருக்கு. மொத்த அமௌண்ட் எவ்வளவு இருக்கு? 200. Aggregate turnover, that's all. But this is a different pocket geographically located in Tamil Nadu. This is a different pocket geographically located in another place called as Karnataka. Because it is different location, state itself is different. And in GST distribution of revenue, this that comes, we call these two people for the purpose of this law as distinct person. Not for income tax. தனித்தனியா பேலன்ஸ் ஷீட் போட மாட்டீங்களே, ரெண்டுத்தையும் சேர்த்து ஒரு பேலன்ஸ் ஷீட் போட்டு டர்ன் ஓவர்னு ஒன்று தானே போடுவீங்க. Yes or no? Able to appreciate all this? That sums up your discussion relating to it. So make yourself comfortable. This is how the transaction would move. Yes. But the sale of 40 lakhs and 60 lakhs is during the year. We will say only previous year. No. My question was whether they would be eligible to claim subsequent year. Question will be draft T. These are all my typing and sending it to you instantly. Okay. So intention is, if last year turnover is this number, current year are they eligible? The number that is shared to you is 1920 number. The question that is before to you is, can 2021, can they opt for this scheme? That is the reason why you have a differences. It's on my end. I should have mentioned to you very clearly, the above facts are relating to 1920. If I would have shared that, I think you would have all would have got it right. In any case, let me repeat it just to highlight to you importance of one word called as aggregate turnover. Now we'll do one thing. We'll quickly go to the next condition. We have just completed only one condition. We have a lot more mile to walk. Coming back here, the person, if he opt for composition levy, he should be engaged in supply of goods which are leviable to tax under GST. So he should deal only in taxable goods, exempted goods. He should not deal in goods which are not leviable to tax under this act. Can any of you text me what are the goods that are not liable to GST? இந்த குட்ஸ்ல உங்களால ஜிஎஸ்டியே போட முடியாது சார். அது மாதிரி ஏதாவது இருக்கா? Do we have any goods which are not liable to GST? Beautiful. All of you are all texting. See, petrol and liquor. All of you are all right. All of you completely good. Good. Happy for all of you. You all understood. If a person deal with petroleum product, if a person deal with liquor, good, good, good. Everybody. If a person deal with these products, then he is not eligible to claim for composition levy. Simple. A restaurant which also serves liquor cannot get into composition levy. But understand, a restaurant which is not serving liquor, can they come to this scheme? Yes, because they are dealing in goods, they are dealing in service which are leviable to tax under this act. They should deal in supply of goods which are only leviable to tax. They should not deal in goods which are not leviable to tax. What are the goods that are not leviable to GST? We have only two goods, which will be this goods. Now, coming back here, getting into a few other aspects. If I don't take a point, I'm consciously not taking a point. Okay. If I'm not touching a particular point, consciously it has been left for certain other aspects to discuss at a subsequent time. Coming back here, yet another condition or the third condition. When it comes to services, that person who want to opt composition scheme should be engaged only in a supply of service, which is supply of food. That is to say, the composition levy person, that is to say, a registered person can do services also, but only one service he should be engaged in, which is supply of food. He should be engaged only in Schedule 2, Para 6, Clause B, which is what? Either a restaurant service or a outdoor catering service. Sir, can you put it in simple terms? Even a service provider is eligible for composition levy. However, he will get covered under section 10(1). Look at my wording. He will get covered under section 10(1), provided he is engaged in supply of a service, which is supply of food. Sir, I am a consultant, business consultant. Am I eligible under this scheme? No. Sir, I am a chartered accountant. Am I eligible under this scheme? No. Sir, I am a company secretary. Can I use this scheme? No. Why? Because you are engaged in services, which is not supply of food. Sir, are you trying to say then for a business consultant, for a company secretary, for a chartered accountant, there is no composition levy? Let me repeat. I am not saying in that way. I'm only saying under this scheme, under this section, it will not come. We have a different section, there it will come. But under this section, it will not come. Because this section is a special section. This is applicable for goods. Only one service is allowed. What is that one service? Supply of food. by a restaurant or supply of food by a outdoor caterer. So previous year aggregate turnover should not exceed 150 lakhs. He should not be engaged in supply of goods which are leviable to, we should be engaged in supply of goods which are only leviable to GST, or should not be engaged in supply of goods which are not leviable to GST. Negative எழுதுறீங்கன்னா அப்படி எழுதலாம். Positive எழுதுறீங்கன்னா should be engaged in supply of goods which are only leviable to tax under this act. He should be engaged only in one supply of service, which is supply of food. Followed by fourth condition. He should not be engaged in interstate outward supply of goods. He should not be engaged in interstate outward supply of goods, meaning thereby he should sell goods only within the state. Interstate outward supply. He should not be engaged in interstate outward supply, meaning thereby he cannot export goods, he cannot sell goods to another state, meaning thereby he'll buy locally and he'll sell locally. Consciously, in the previous problem which we discussed, when I drafted, I told what? He buys goods locally and sell goods locally, because my intention is to ensure that fellow comes within this exemption. Come back here. He should not be engaged in interstate outward supply. Sir, if we engage in interstate outward supply, what will happen? Nothing will happen. He is not eligible for composition levy. Before we move forward, I'll break here. Ask you a question. Modern systems, a partnership firm whose current turnover or whose turnover for the financial year 1920 is 48 lakhs. They 48 lakhs. They want to know whether they would be entitled for composition levy. However, modern system has plans to sell goods outside the state. Is it advisable for him to opt composition levy during 2021? Modern system is a partnership firm. Current year turnover or 1920 turnover is, let's say, 45 lakhs. He has plans to sell goods to another state. Will he be entitled to opt for this scheme? Will he be interested? Leave interested. He'll be interested. Will he be entitled to opt for this scheme? A lot of you are all answering no, 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 no. Why no? Very simple. A person who opts composition levy, strict condition. Sir, I opted composition levy and later I violated. Very simple. The person will be thrown out of the scheme. When, sir, with immediate effect, he'll be thrown out of the scheme with immediate effect. If this morning, if you make an interstate supply, then that morning he'll immediately cease to be a composition tax person. True? Yes. If you want to do an interstate supply, if you want to sell goods to other places, you want to export goods, you want to sell to SEZ, then very simple, he has to be only a Section 9 normal levy person. If you come to composition levy, there are conditions. This is one conditions which need to be satisfied. Followed by, before me moving forward, a few of you has raised question. If a person has a restaurant and a medical shop in two different ways, in what basis turnover should be taken? If the same person has a restaurant and medical shop, add the two turnovers of that state, you will be eligible. I don't know what is your, I'm not able to infer, Ananya, your question. If you raise your hand, I can unmute you further. If you have, I am not able to make it up in a very great way. Now, coming back here, I mean, if I don't know, I'm not able to make a complete sense out of the question. If you could raise, I can raise your hand, I can unmute you. Go to your screen, touch uh, participants or something like that, and you can raise hand there so that it comes in my list first. Okay. Coming back here. லாவண்யா, எனக்கு கொஸ்டினே புரியலம்மா. எனக்கு கொஸ்டினே புரியல. அதனால தான் அவங்கள வந்து நான் ஹேண்ட் ரைஸ் பண்ண சொன்னேன். அன்மியூட் பண்ணலான்னு. ஒரு நிமிஷம் இருங்க. Yes, I think I have unmuted you. Hello. You can speak, Ananya. இல்ல அவங்க அன்மியூட் திருப்பி மியூட் பண்ணிட்டாங்க. ஓகே. மியூட் பண்ணிட்டாங்களா, வெளில போயிட்டாங்களான்னு தெரியல. Okay, done. The question is, if a person has a restaurant and a medical shop in two different states, composition try பண்ணலாமா? பண்ணலாம், தப்பு இல்ல. Restaurant is within the ambit, medical shop also, you buy goods, sell goods. In what basis turnover should be taken? எனக்கு புரியல. What basis turnover should be taken? Restaurant turnover what? Shop sales turnover what? Add both, it should not cross 150 lakhs. That's all. That is what I could able to understand from the question. But in any case, let her come rejoin and then we will take it up. Now, moving forward, first condition was previous year turnover should not exceed more than 150 lakhs. Second condition, the person should be engaged only in supply of goods which are leviable to tax. He should be engaged in only one supply of service, which is supply of goods. Fourth condition, he should not be engaged in interstate outward supply. Fifth condition, he should not be engaged in supply of goods through e-commerce operator. He should not sell goods through Amazon and Flipkart. If you want to sell goods through Amazon and Flipkart, go to section 9. So let me repeat it. If a person want to sell goods through Amazon, Flipkart, then he has to go to section 9. Here, under this section, he is not allowed. Any person who supply goods or services through e-commerce operator, he is not eligible to claim composition levy. Followed by the respective supplier should not manufacture notified goods. The supplier should not manufacture notified goods. There are few goods that are notified. What are those notified goods, sir? Pan masala, gutka, chewing tobacco, ice cream, and aerated water. 4 goods as of now is notified by government. A manufacturer of these goods is not eligible to claim composition levy. Pan masala, gutka, chewing tobacco, ice cream. If you are a manufacturer of these goods, you are not eligible to claim composition levy because both are, all 4 goods are notified goods. In case of multi-GST and supplier. Sir, what do you mean by multi-GST and supplier? Sir, you already had one example, no? In Tamil Nadu, one shop, Karnataka, one shop for a same person. Now, Ananya has the example. In one place, in one Tamil Nadu, they have a restaurant. In Andhra Pradesh, they have a medical shop. Same proprietor. then it will come under multi-GSTN. Multi-GSTN means supplier under a same PAN number. PAN number India முழுக்க ஒண்ணுதாங்க. So under a same PAN number, take a SBI Bank, State Bank of India. One State Bank of India, one PAN number. But under GST, it will have 34 registrations. That is to say, sir, every state one registration, plus for some other purposes, 2-3 registration extra. 34 registrations. Now, leave SBI. Its turnover is in few crores, not few crores, few thousand crores. We will take up some small time fellow. When people have two different registration, sir, for restaurant I will go composition levy, sir. For medical business I will go normal, sir. In Andhra Pradesh, if one state you opted composition, every state composition. For one multi GST number, one GST number you opted composition. Throughout India, everywhere composition scheme. So intention for us is everywhere they should opt composition levy. Followed by 8th condition. He is not supposed to collect tax from the recipient. Not supposed to collect tax means you should not say 100 rupees goods plus tax so much. No, no, no. Whatever money you collect is inclusive of tax. Not supposed to collect tax from recipient. 9th condition, not eligible to claim input tax credit. He is not eligible to claim input tax credit. Straight away, he is ineligible to claim input tax credit. Sir, can you provide me all in a nutshell? Yes, we'll repeat all this condition, take 4-5 illustrations, and then proceed forward. Previous year turnover should not exceed more than 150 lakhs. Should be engaged only in goods which are leviable to tax. In other words, should not be engaged in goods which are not leviable to tax. Should be engaged only in one supply of service, which is supply of food. He should not be engaged in interstate outward supply of goods. He should not supply goods through e-commerce operator. Should not manufacture goods which are notified, such as pan masala, gutka, chewing tobacco, ice cream. In case of multi-GSTN for a same PAN, they should ensure that throughout India or throughout all GST registration, either they opt composition levy or they opt normal levy. One composition and one normal levy, not possible. Everything composition or everything normal. Not supposed to collect in the name of tax from the recipient. Not eligible for claiming input tax credit at the time of purchase of goods, purchase of services, when he buys goods with GST. First set of 9 conditions. Keeping all this in mind, R Limited, a company S Limited is engaged in supply of goods through e-commerce operator. Will he be eligible to claim your composition levy scheme? Good. Good, good. All of you are all replying. Good. MIS restaurant is supplying food through Swiggy. They want to claim composition levy under section 10. Are they eligible? Neha, Abhijit, Pavitra. Oh, Swiggy e-commerce operator கிடையாதா? ஓஹோ. அப்போ ஸ்விக்கி எப்படி கனெக்ட் பண்ணிக்கிறேன் எல்லாரையும்? ஓகே. பெருசா எல்லாரும் நோ 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 நோன்னு சொல்லிட்டோம். வை நோ? எல்லாருமே நோ நோ நோன்னு சொல்லிட்டோமே, ஏன் நோ? Why not eligible? MID restaurant supply food through e-commerce operator, which is Swiggy. Are they eligible for composition? Not eligible. A lot of you said no. My question is why? E-commerce operator. See, all of you are preparing for two beautiful exams by name called as CA and CS. Okay. Come back here. Read the entry. Not engaged in supply of, not engaged in supply of another goods. So supplying food is what? Supplying food is what? Supply of goods or supply of service? Service. So MID restaurant supplying food through e-commerce operator, eligible for composition levy, not eligible for composition. Sanjay, check Sanjay. MID restaurant who supply food through e-commerce operator, eligible for composition levy, not eligible. A few of you answered already. Yes, I want rest all of you to answer. Want to take you a position. You take a position. That is better. Previous year turnoverலாம் எல்லாம் கீழே தானே வச்சுக்கோப்பா நரேஷ். இந்த கேள்விக்கு மட்டும் டிசைட் பண்ணு. இதுக்கு மட்டும் வச்சுக்கோ. Assume rest all conditions are satisfied. அப்படி எடு டிசிஷன். வேணா அப்படி எடுத்துக்கோ. Assuming all other conditions are satisfied. இது மட்டும் தான் உங்களுக்கு டிசிஷன். அப்ப என்ன பண்ண போறீங்க? Good. A lot of you are all right. Vishwa, check eligible. In my view, eligible. Very simple word. You're not, he should not be engaged in supply of goods. Okay. Word service and all is not there. So because of that reason, they should be what? Eligible. Since nothing is mentioned about services, eligible. Understanding will be like this only. Harish Kumar, I don't understand. Eligible because they supply only food. Eligible because they supply food, which is a service. Restriction is only for goods, not for service. So eligible. Abhi. Okay. Now, I'll ask 2, 3 questions orally, you can close it. I know you all will make it up right because your now understanding is getting all set. Q Limited has 2 businesses, a garment business and a printing and stationery business. A garment business in Andhra Pradesh and a printing and stationery business in Tamil Nadu. Printing and stationery business turnover, last year turnover, 1920 turnover is 80 lakhs. Garment business turnover is 50 lakhs. Printing and stationery 8I. Garment business 50 lakhs. Company plans or want to opt for composition levy for garment business and normal levy for printing and stationery business. So section 9, they will opt Tamil Nadu business. Section 10, they will go for garment business. Q Limited seeks your view. Can they opt composition levy for Andhra Pradesh and Tamil Nadu registration, printing and stationery? Yes, they will opt your normal levy. Possible, not possible. Good, not possible. Good, good, good. A lot of you right. Not possible. Pan India, not possible. Yes, Pan India, not possible. See, very simple. ஒன்னு எல்லாம் காம்போசிஷனா போங்க, இல்ல எல்லாம் என்னது நார்மலா போங்க, அவ்வளவுதான். These are all final takeaways. Okay, because afternoon time, we are all in a nice covered environment. We are not out there on the road. If you stare out there on the road, it will be very interesting. So nothing great. Heat will be more. That's all. Okay. Sneha, you raise your hand. I'll unmute you. I'll close this problem and then take it up questions relating to it so that the package gets over. A last question on this topic. Ramesh Ice Creams. Ramesh Ice Creams is involved in the business of buying and selling of ice creams. Previous year turnover of Ramesh Ice Cream is 75 lakhs. Will they be entitled to claim composition levy? Ramesh Ice Cream, who is in the business of buying and selling of ice creams, previous year turnover is 75 lakhs. Will they be eligible to claim composition levy? Adi, not eligible, not eligible, not eligible. பறக்குது. ஒரு நிமிஷம் எல்லாரும் நல்லா மூச்சு இழுத்து வாங்குங்க. ஒரு நிமிஷம் இருங்க. நீங்க வாங்க, ஒரு நிமிஷம் வாங்க. படிங்க. என்ன படிச்சோம்? Manufacturer of ice cream தான் not eligible. Ramesh Ice Cream is what involved in buying and selling of ice cream. Buying and selling of ice cream க்கும் manufacturer of ice cream க்கும் வித்தியாசம் இருக்கு. சார் ஏன் சார் மத்தியானம் இப்படி வெறுப்பேத்துறீங்க? நான் தான் சொல்லிட்டேன்ல, உங்களை வெறுப்பேத்துறதுக்காக தான் என்ன ஹையரே பண்ணிருக்காங்க. Come on, let's be very clear. Your twist in the question will come here like this only. I know you all read, we all read, we know everything, but pointed question will come. Here, a careful point need to be noted down. Here is manufacturer. In the same questions, would your answer be different if Ramesh Ice Cream is a manufacturer? Yes. In the given situation, Ramesh Ice Cream is buying and selling of ice cream. So he is eligible, not eligible. He is eligible to claim composition levy. Understand why he is eligible to claim. Let me repeat. Because he bought goods and sold goods, it is not manufactured. He has to do some process. Then only it will amount to manufacture. See, a lot of you ஐஸ்கிரீம்னு பார்த்தோன்னா ஐஸ்கிரீம்ல என்ன பண்றீங்க? Are you manufacturing it? Are you buying and selling it? If it is buying and selling, then they are ineligible. Otherwise, they are eligible. Can we move forward? Yes. So, Sneha, you have raised your hand. If you raise your hand, it will come. You will have a area to raise your hand. உங்களுக்கு ஒரு chat box பக்கத்துல இருக்கும் பாருங்க. இங்க செலக்ட் பண்ணீங்கன்னா வரும். Yes. Your doubt is whether Swiggy is an e-commerce operator. Yes, yes, yes. Swiggy is an e-commerce operator. No doubt about it. Why you are having a doubt? E-commerce operator means any person who manage information technology, software or app. So who owns, operate or manage an information technology software or app is called as e-commerce operator. Play Storeல இருக்கிற எல்லாருமே காமர்ஸ்குள்ள வந்தானா e-commerce operator. அப்படி வச்சுக்கோங்க. பிளே ஸ்டோர் மட்டும் தானே? ஓகே, ஆப்பிள் ஸ்டோர் நல்ல, பிளாக்பெரி ஸ்டோர், அப்புறம் என்னது விண்டோஸ் ஸ்டோர், எல்லா ஸ்டோர்லயும். See who acts, who connects suppliers and recipients through a internet or a digital platform or a digital network. Anybody who connects, all are coming under the term called as e-commerce operator. You have a definition for e-commerce operator. Near registration, that definition will be there. In your slides, near registration, maybe after section 24, you will have a definition of the term e-commerce operator. If my memory serves me right, it will be there only. Now, these are all whatever we have a discussion on composition levy. Sir, is everything is over? இல்ல இன்னும் ரெண்டு கண்டிஷன் இருக்கு. இன்னுமா? ஆமா. Before that, we have a yet another point to discuss. Now, we discussed everything only from a normal state perspective. If you carefully note, in case of special category state, the turnover is 75 lakhs. What do we mean by special category state, sir? Adina sir, special category state, nothing but under the Constitution of India, Article 279A qualifies certain state as special category state. So these states will be treated as special category states, and for these states, the threshold is not 150 lakhs, the threshold will be 75 lakhs. What are those states? Arunachal Pradesh, Manipur. Understand, this is not extended. Current date, it is Assam is not a special category state. Assam came out of the special category state status. இது வந்து ஒரு ஸ்டேட்டஸ் தான். வேணும்னா நீங்க ஸ்பெஷல் கேட்டகரி ஸ்டேட் பெனிஃபிட் எடுத்துக்கலாம், இல்லைன்னா வேண்டாம்னா வேண்டாம். வாட் எவர் பி. As of now, Arunachal Pradesh, Manipur, Tripura, Meghalaya, Mizoram, Nagaland, Sikkim, Uttarakhand. These states, maybe this 8 states alone would be treated as special category states. சார் இது மாதிரிலாம் ஊர் இருக்கா சார் இந்தியால? Manipur, a beautiful place. Sikkim, good place. Nagaland, கொஞ்சம் நக்சலைட்ஸ் ஜாஸ்தி, பட் அகெயின் நல்ல பிளேஸ். மிசோரம்ல 91% ஆஃப் மிசோரம் இஸ் ஃபாரஸ்ட். மண் ரோடு நீங்க இங்க பாத்திருக்கவே மாட்டீங்க. அவங்க ஊர்ல ஹைவேவே மண் ரோடா தான் இருக்கும். ஆனா you have to travel to all these places. Wish and pray you all travel to all these places. um, Northeastern, we otherwise call it as that seven sister. Manipur, Tripura, Meghalaya, Nagaland, Mizoram, Sikkim, Arunachal Pradesh. The belt, northeastern belt, nice belt, beautiful belt. Gangtok, Darjeeling. Darjeeling is in Sikkim. Gangtok is in uh, Gangtok is in Sikkim. Darjeeling is in West Bengal. Nice places. Uh, if you all very fond of a song by name called as உனக்கு என்ன வேணும் சொல்லுன்னு என்னை அறிந்தால ஒரு பாட்டு இருக்கும். ஓகே, ஆமா சார், அதுல போற இடம் எல்லாம் நார்த் ஈஸ்டர்ன் ஏரியா. ஓகே, தட்ஸ் ஆல் சார். நான் வெளிநாடுன்னு நினைச்சேன் சார், அதெல்லாம் இல்லை, போயிட்டு வாங்க அப்புறம் ஜாலியா. மணிப்பூர், ஐ லைக் ஒன் பிளேஸ், இம்பால் அப்படின்னு ஒரு இடம். மணிப்பூரோட டிப், இம்பால் இஸ் த பிளேஸ் வேர் the border of your that way border. If you cross Impal, you'll get into Myanmar, Burma. Okay, so nice places. These are all nice places. But understand one challenge in all these states, all the states throughout, be it Himachal Pradesh, be it JNK. Himachal Pradesh is also a special category state. You are aware of a place like Kulu, Manali, all this is Himachal Pradesh. Assam, Guwahati is the capital. Assam is again. JNK, Himachal Pradesh, Assam, all these places. See, generally economic activity in all these places are less. Economic activity is less. I'm sorry, for somebody earning here 25,000 rupees will not be a great number. In all these places, earning 5,000 rupees will be a great number. 5,000 rupees, just 5,000 rupees. 2-3 reasons. They will not have much spending required there, because everyone will work there, come back home, have food in the home. So very great economic activity will not be there. So if you give a big threshold, what will happen is many companies and many businessmen will go out of GST regime. So what government did is, in consultation with all these states should give confirmation. The government and this state given its consent and reduce the threshold. If there is a business in Manipur, if it crosses 75 lakhs, they are not eligible for composition. If there is a business in Nagaland, if it crosses 75 lakhs, they are not eligible for composition. Sir, rest all conditions remain same. If they are in Manipur, the only change as compared to Tamil Nadu and Manipur is, in Tamil Nadu, your previous year turnover 85 lakhs, you still be entitled for what? Composition levy. If the same person does a business in Manipur, or some person like that at that size and that setup, another person does a business in Manipur. In Manipur, they will say he is not eligible. Why, sir? That state accepted a lower threshold. That is the reason. Why lower threshold? Economic activities are less. Wherever economic activity is less, you should have a lower threshold. Then only many people will pay more tax. If there is big economic activity, you will have larger threshold. So that what? Many people volunteer themselves to comply. This is a gimmick government will take. Periodically, it will change. For example, Assam was all along a composition levy. From 1920 financial onwards, Assam 150 lakhs. Himachal Pradesh again 150 lakhs. Earlier Himachal Pradesh was in. Uttarakhand was out. Now Uttarakhand went in, Himachal Pradesh came out. So it's all state finance minister, chief minister, they all think with their economic advisors and then take a decision. You and me are not involved in any way for all this. We are here to just remember these places. இதெல்லாம் ஞாபகம் வச்சுக்கணுமா சார்? எஸ், நல்லா ஞாபகம் வச்சுக்கோங்க. Sir, if I opt composition levy, what is the end day benefit to me? End day benefit is this only. For the next 150 lakhs turnover, that is current year turnover up to rupees 150 lakhs. Current year turnover up to rupees 150 lakhs. Manufacturer means he will pay 0.5% CGST, 0.5% SGST on the state or union territory turnover. If it is a person who supply food by a restaurant or outdoor caterer means he will pay 2.5% CGST, 2.5% SGST of the state or union territory turnover. All those persons other than manufacturer and supplier of food means there will be only one category of person called as trader. They buy goods, they sell goods. 0.5% CGST, 0.5% SGST of the taxable turnover. Sir, is there is a word difference? Do you want to supply emphasize in any way here? If you're going to ask me, yes, I'm supplying I emphasize here. When it comes to manufacturer and supply of food, it is just 0.5% or 2.5, half plus half or 2.5 plus 2.5 on a state turnover. Whereas when it comes to your other suppliers, it is on taxable turnover. What is the difference, sir? Taxable supply 40 lakhs, exempted supply 20 lakhs, total supply 60 lakhs. If a manufacturer will pay 0.5% on 60 lakhs, 60 lakhs. To the contrary, in case if it is a trader who has 50 lakhs of taxable supply and 20 lakhs of exempted supply, a total turnover of 70 lakhs, a trader, other supplier, a trader, he is not a manufacturer, he does not supply food. A trader will pay on 50 lakhs, 0.5% CGST, 0.5% SGST. Do I need to remember this percentage, sir? Yes. You have to remember the percentage if possible along with the rule number. As per rule 7, manufacturer is liable to pay, manufacturer of goods liable to pay 0.5% CGST, 0.5% SGST on total turnover of that state. If they are going to supply food as a restaurant or outdoor caterer, 2.5% CGST, 2.5% SGST of the state. Similarly, if they are going to be other suppliers, then 0.5% CGST, other supplier means traders, 0.5% CGST, 0.5% SGST on taxable turnover. That sums up your rate related condition. One more strong point, let me repeat it. This is section 10.3, read along with your rule. If a person crosses 150 lakhs, he will cease to be a taxable, a composition levy person with immediate effect. If a person crosses 150 lakhs, or I'll rephrase it. If a person crosses 150 lakhs or any person who failed to satisfy this condition, he will cease to be a person with immediate effect, meaning thereby a person turnover crossed 75 lakhs, a person turnover crossed 150 lakhs, a person made an interstate supply of goods, a person made a supply of goods through e-commerce operator. If any one activity if the person does, then he will cease to be a person with immediate effect. Moving forward, some small procedural requirement. We will read through this procedural requirement. While starting GST, if anybody want to opt composition scheme, they'll file a form called as Form GST CMP 01. Let me repeat it. A form called as Form GST CMP 01. Do I need to remember the form number, sir? Yes. ஏதாவது இம்பார்ட்டண்டா இருக்குன்னா மட்டும்தான் நான் சொல்லுவேன். இல்லைன்னா அந்த நம்பரை கூட சொல்ல மாட்டேன், அப்படியே அமைதியா போயிடுவேன். நான் ஏதாவது நம்பர் சொல்லி செக்ஷன் நம்பர் சொன்னேன்னாலோ ஃபார்ம் நம்பர் சொன்னேன்னாலோ அது இம்பார்ட்டன்ட்னு அர்த்தம். இல்லைன்னா நானே சொல்ல மாட்டேன், ஸ்ட்ரைட்டா சொல்ல மாட்டேன், கம்முன்னு விட்டுட்டு போயினே இருப்பேன். அடிச்சு உங்களுக்கு புரிஞ்சா எழுதிக்கோங்க, இல்லைன்னா வேண்டாம். CMP01 is a form that was used at the time of moving a person from earlier law to GST. This form, one time form, was used at the time of migration. Now I want to opt the scheme. I want to opt for composition levy. I am a new person. Earlier I paid tax under normal levy. Today only I came to know about composition levy. Then good. If a person want to opt for composition levy at the start of financial year, நான் திருப்பி சொல்றேன், at the start of financial year, within 60 days, he has to file a form called as CMP02. CMP02, a form will be filed by a person who is eligible to claim composition levy. If you want to claim composition levy, he has satisfied all the conditions. Previous year turnover is less. He is not going to do interstate supply. He will not supply of goods through e-commerce operator. He is not dealing with notified goods. He will not collect tax. He will not claim ITC. எல்லாம் tick, 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 tick. Yes, sir. You want to claim this year? 2021, good. Ensure you make an application before 30th, sorry, make an application within 60 days. If a person makes an application within 60 days from the start of financial year, if he wants, he can make an application. Another point here, it's an option. If you want, he can exercise it. If you don't want, he can keep quiet. Again, is it a yearly activity? Does every year CMP02 need to be filed? No. Once filed, until he violates and get out, till that day, that form is enough. As long as he is satisfied, he will continue with the scheme. If he violates, he has to file some form which will throw him from 10 to 9. Let me repeat, GST number la மாறாது, எதுவுமே மாறாது. என்ன மாறும்னா, earlier you will be called as a composition taxpayer. Now you will be called as a normal taxpayer or a regular taxpayer. So status of the person GST la மாறிடும். Earlier composition taxpayer. After crossing the threshold, after doing big businesses or wanted to do some interstate businesses, you can file certain form, get out of this business. So get out of the composition levy. To start with, if a person want to opt composition levy, then he'll file CMP02 within 60 days from the start of financial year. Within just, that is to say, if you want to opt composition levy for 1920, he has to file an application before 30th May 2020. If you should have filed an application before 30th May 2020, he is eligible for composition. In case if he has not filed, sir, what will happen? Sorry, he is not eligible. In the middle of the year and all, no one can claim composition levy. Only start of the year, a composition levy can be made. Followed by, if any person who opted composition levy should ensure the details of stock, whatever stock he has, the details of stock of raw material, furnish the details of stock, whatever goods he has purchased from unregistered person, all this in a form called as CMP03. Every composition person within 90 days from the day in which he filed his composition levy form, will make a submission of whatever stock he had. Certain purposes is there, why that stock declaration and all, sir. When you come to input tax credit, you will know. Again, I have not touched up some forms which are relating to input tax credit. Okay, that form and all. When we go there, at that time we will discuss. It's a combined topic. You can also discuss it here. If I start discussing now, I have to give you a lot more inputs. So CMP03 is a form, will be filed by a newly joined composition person within 90 days from he being accepted as a composition levy person, where CMP03 contains details of stock. What was his stock? What is the raw materials that he is bringing in now? Or what are the raw materials that he has? Details about that is captured in CMP03. If any person is want to withdraw from the scheme, composition levy scheme, or any person ceases to be thrown out, ceases to be a composition levy person, then that person will file a form within 7 days from that he ceases to be a person under a form called as Form CMP04. CMP stands for compounding. If you have doubt what is CMP, CMP stands for compounding. So form number 4 will be filed within 7 days. If today he crosses 150 lakhs, he ceases to be a person with immediate effect. Then from today, next 7 days, CMP04 has to be filed. Supplier yesterday made an interstate sale. From yesterday, when he made an interstate sale, he not satisfied the condition. When he not satisfied, within next 7 days, he has to file a CMP04. If officer is of a view that a person has contravened the provisions of the composition levy, contravened section 10. What do we mean by contravened section 10? Means actually he has not satisfied the condition, but he says that he has satisfied the condition. Then officer will issue a show cause notice in a form called as Form CMP05, for which reply has to be filed within 15 days. The reply to the notice, show cause notice, will be in CMP06, and from the date of reply, within a period of 30 days, a final order will be passed in a form called as CMP07. So from starting, CMP01 was used at the time of converting people during 2017, moving people from normal levy to composition levy at the time of introduction of GST. CMP02 regularly used when somebody want to opt composition levy. CMP03, when they opted composition levy, they should give a stock declaration, how much opening stock they have, that declaration in CMP03. CMP04, when a person withdrawn from the scheme, when a person ceases to be a composition person, then he will file an application for withdrawal in CMP04 within 7 days from he became a person, ceases to be a composition levy. Ceases means ineligible person. Okay. CMP05, if that composition person has did some mistake, if the government has identified that composition person is not eligible, actually he did the interstate supply, he has not disclosed, government has identified that. In all these cases, CMP05, if he contravenes any provisions of section 10, show cause notice will be issued by officer. Reply for the show cause notice has to be filed within 15 days in form CMP06. After reading the reply, after seeing all the documents, after a representation made, finally officer will pass an order in CMP07 within 30 days from the date of reply to show cause notice. Followed by CMP08. CMP08 is a quarterly payment, as per quarterly payment form, and this quarterly payment form will be filed before 18th day from the end of quarter. Let me repeat. To pay the taxes, that half percent, CGST, SGST in case of manufacturer, half percent on taxable supply in case of trader, 2.5 in case of supplier of food. How to pay tax? Yes, quarterly one payment, challan payment return will be filed, CMP 08, which will be filed. That information is not here. If you want to update it, which will be filed before 18th day from end of quarter. April to June, July 18th. July to September, October 18th. October to December, March 18th. Jan to March, April 18th. So before that, yes, it will be done. Now, these are all your forms. Sir, do I need to remember it? See, from an MCQ perspective, all this was already tested in exam. Nothing new about it. Now, what are those additional two conditions, sir? A casual taxable person and a non-resident taxable person. A casual taxable person and a non-resident taxable person are not eligible for composition levy. Casual taxable person means actually he has an office in Andhra Pradesh. His regular offices and all in Andhra Pradesh. In Tamil Nadu, he saw a business fair. So that person in Andhra Pradesh wanted to do more business or has a doubt whether people will like our products. So as a trial basis came to that 15 days business fair, business exhibition, came, booked a stall, from the stall sold the goods, good response he had, which was the reason to open a company. So when he come and that 15 days, he sold the goods. No, on 15 days, he was a casual taxable person. Any person who occasionally undertake transaction where who does not have a permanent place of business in that state. Without permanent place of business in that state, if a person do a business, it is called as casual taxable person. Already we have under definitions. Lead it whenever you find time. Those definitions. Again, NRTP, non-resident taxable person. Whatever I told, same all are applicable, but only difference is this fellow comes from foreign country, want to participate in that business exhibition. Then let him come from foreign country, participate in that business exhibition, but he is not eligible for composition levy. Composition levy is eligible only for normal people. These are all special people. From foreign country he comes and want to do occasionally business in India, I will collect from him small tax. No, I'll collect from him big tax. Can you able to understand? Small tax, why I meant is only 1%. No, that's why. In any case, the next condition is the word compounding taxable person or composition taxable person should be mentioned in every bill, notice, and signboards. Whatever bills issued by the person, whatever signboards that are there, yes. On all these, this information has to be printed. If a person satisfy all the conditions that I have discussed, then he is eligible for a composition levy person. Similarly, as I earlier mentioned, he no need to file a fresh intimation for every year. As long as he satisfy all the conditions that we have discussed, all that 11 conditions, year after year, he will be eligible as composition levy person, pay taxes at a less rate until he crosses that threshold turnover. The day in which he crosses that threshold turnover, on that day, he ceases to be a person with immediate effect. Don't always decide only based on previous year turnover. Section 10, subsection 3 says, if during the current year, he crosses 75 lakhs, he crosses 150 lakhs, immediately he will cease to be a composition person. Meaning thereby, next day onwards, he becomes a normal person. Enniki cross பண்றாரோ அன்னைக்கு தான் last date. எதுக்கு? To be a composition levy person. True. So this sums up our whole discussion relating to composition levy. A few points are here. These points are all points which is relevant from recent amendments perspective. One point I have already taken. Earlier, GSTR4 was a monthly return. Now GSTR4 is an annual return, which will be filed before 30th April from end of a financial year. For example, 1920, it will be for financial year 1920, it will be filed before 30th April 2020. So that is your GSTR4 annual return. Then quarterly statement is what, sir? Monthly, how much tax they have to pay. That alone is discussed in CMP 08, which has to be filed before 18th day from end of quarter. End of quarter, 18th day, it has to be filed. Agreed. That is also completed. Often a doubt came, can a person who opt composition levy do services? If you carefully read the condition, it will say they are not eligible for services. However, a composition levy person can supply services, amendment, this is an amendment, can supply services up to rupees 5 lakhs or 10% of the value of supply of this two, whichever is higher. So all services are eligible except for construction services. Sir, I'm not able to understand this 10% formula, all this stuff. I'll give you an example. A person's previous year turnover is 75 lakhs, which has a breakup like this. Income from sale of motors. He buy motor, sell motor. Income from sale of motors, 72 lakhs. Service charges received for repairing old motors, 5 lakhs. Total turnover, 77 lakhs. 72 lakhs is his regular turnover. 5 lakhs assume worth of items he did as services. Total turnover 77 lakhs. A question that comes up to you is, can he opt for composition levy? Assume all the other conditions are satisfied. Just only one condition is before you. He will also sell motors. He will also provide motor repair services. Current year, the motor sales is about 72 lakhs, buying and selling motor sales. And he expect roughly he will make he made a turnover of 5 lakhs. Will he be entitled for composition levy? What is your answer? He is eligible for composition levy, not eligible. Quick. Eligible for composition levy, not eligible for composition. Right? Very tough question. There is a person who buy motor, sell motor. His previous year turnover, 72 lakhs by sale of motor. 5 lakhs income by service charges. Total turnover 77 lakhs. Is he eligible? Previous year turnover less than 50 lakhs, yes. All conditions are satisfied. Just based on turnover and based on turnover related information, can you decide? When you go, one condition you would have read, what he should be engaged only in one supply of service, food. For that, one new proviso amended, which says a composition person can supply services also. But we should ensure the turnover of such services is rupees 5 lakhs or 10% of your turnover. What was your turnover? 77 lakhs into 10%, 7.7 lakhs. 5 lakhs or 7.5 lakhs. Of these two, whichever is higher. meaning thereby, even if she does a turnover of 7 lakhs, she is 7 lakhs for services. 7 lakhs for services. She is or he is eligible for composition levy. I'll change the example in a little different way. Total turnover 85 lakhs. Of that 85 lakhs, trading in motors 72 lakhs, service charges 13 lakhs, total turnover 85 lakhs, all previous year data. Are they eligible for composition levy? Sale of motor parts 72 lakhs, service charges received 13 lakhs, total 85 lakhs. Can they opt composition levy? Yes or no? Good. Fast. If you're all not going to make answer, then for what we are going to make answer? Quick. நான் திருப்பி சொல்றேன், நீங்க நிறைய என் கொஸ்டினை அண்டர் எஸ்டிமேட் பண்றீங்க. பேப்பர்ல வரும்போது தான் தெரிய போகுது. நாளைக்கு வச்சிருக்கேன், நாளைக்கு இதுக்கு எல்லாத்துக்கும் ப்ராப்ளம் போடுவோம், எல்லாம் எக்ஸாம் ப்ராப்ளம். அப்போ ஆன்சர் உடனே வராம இருக்கட்டுமே. அப்போ இருக்கு. குவிக். எஸ். Eligible, not eligible. They are not eligible. Why is are not eligible? Come on. Though this section allows up to 10% he can do services, 10% of 85 lakhs is 8.5 lakhs. This person is doing a services of 13 lakhs, which is more than 10% or 5 lakhs as the case may be. So straight away this fellow or this person is not eligible for composition levy. Yet another important point after composition levy, interest received, interest income, no, we all read income from other sources, it is getting taxed. Interest received will not be included in aggregate turnover. Interest received number should not be included in aggregate turnover. These are all new amendments. இங்க ஸ்லைடு ஹெட்டிங்க பார்த்தீங்கனாலே தெரியும். இவ்வளோ ஸ்லைடு படிச்சது இம்பார்ட்டன்ட்ல, இந்த ஒரு ஸ்லைடு தான் இம்பார்ட்டன்ட். 2019 amendment, 2019 amendment, 2019 amendment, 2019 amendment, 2020 amendment. எல்லா amendment. GSTR 4 henceforth, which was earlier a quarterly return, now becomes annual return filed before 30th. Earlier quarterly we will file 4. Now quarterly CMP 08 before 18th day from the end of quarter. After end of quarter, 18th day of the subsequent, within 18 days of the subsequent month. So that is a time limit within which it has to be filed. 18th day from end of quarter. You understand in that way. The subsequent month and all will create confusion. 18th day from end of quarter. When your quarter ends, next 18th day, this becomes your due date. So service income can be earned by these people, but it can be a maximum of 5 lakhs or 10% of their total turnover. If service income is huge, then it is not. Service income can also be called as interest received, or sometimes interest received is a type of service income, exempted supply service income. Interest received will not form part of your aggregate turnover. If they have interest, then ignore that interest amount or reduce the interest amount for both, for aggregate turnover and turnover of state. Okay. Wherever you have interest income will not be considered for the purpose of totaling for aggregate turnover under this section. General in the section, interest will not be added. To determine your 150 lakhs, to determine your tax liability, you will not add interest. That is a takeaway of it. This sums up in toto, in nutshell, your discussions relating to section 10(1), which is applicable for goods. So, இவ்ளோ படிச்சோமே சார், இவ்வளோ நேரம் நம்ம யாருக்காக படிச்சோம்? ஒன்லி ஃபார் குட்ஸ். சர்வீஸ் ப்ரொவைடர் எல்லாம் ஒன்று சேர்ந்தாங்க. சார், அவங்களுக்கு மட்டும்தானா? அவங்களுக்கு மட்டும்தான் நீங்க பண்ணுவீங்களா? எங்களுக்கெல்லாம் இப்படி எடுக்க மாட்டீங்களா, எங்களுக்கெல்லாம் பண்ண மாட்டீங்களா, பஞ்சாயத்து ஒண்ணுல அதே மாதிரிதான். No, 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 you are allowing only one service. We are all small service provider, earn 50 lakhs only per annum. The service also up to 50 lakhs and all, don't think big number. 50 லட்ச ரூபா சர்வீஸ் பண்ணாங்கன்னா நெட்டா டேக் அவே 12 லட்சம் 15 லட்ச ரூபா வரும். பணமே வராதுன்னா நான் ஏமாத்த மாட்டேன். ஐம் சாரி. 50 lakhs if they do a service income based on certain services, they will have 30 lakhs also profit. Certain services only 15 lakhs will be profit. I'll give you an example. If 50 lakhs is there is going to be a business consultant. In a 50 lakhs income, he'll make 30 lakhs profit. Labor supply, you all know labor supply, sending higher labor and all, contract labor for construction and all. That is also a service. If that service means he'll get hardly 10 lakhs only, 20% தான் margin இருக்கும், ரொம்பலாம் margin இருக்காது இன்னைக்கு. So idea is that's all. If it is a consulting based business, 40% margin over. Other than consulting business or other than pure related business, supply of manpower, supply of security services, 20% தான். 20% ப்ராஃபிட்லாம் நான் திருப்பி சொல்றேன். ஒருத்தர் பிசினஸ் பண்றாரு, 50 lakhs பிசினஸ் பண்றாரு சார், 20% 10 lakhs ப்ராஃபிட். அந்த நிம்மதியா வாழ்ந்து தூங்கி வாங்கின கடனுக்கு கொடுக்கறதுக்கே 10 லட்ச ரூபா, 8 லட்சம், 6 லட்ச ரூபாயாவது வேணாமா? 50,000 ரூபாய் ஆகாத செலவு வீட்டுக்கு? அது எங்க இருந்து எடுப்பாரு? பிசினஸ்ல இருந்து தானே எடுப்பாரு. அதை ரிமூவ் பண்ணுங்க. அப்புறம் 4 லட்ச ரூபா, 4 லட்ச ரூபாய்க்கு பிசினஸ் பண்ணோமா அந்த ஆள் மட்டும் வெறுப்பாயிட்டோம்னா, அண்டர்ஸ்டாண்ட் வாட் வில் ஹேப்பன். So government part, small people, we will not put pressure. We will not ask him to comply in big way. They will give him benefit. What is the benefit, sir? அப்படியே ஒரு ரிவிஷன் பண்ற மாதிரி இருக்கும். This scheme is applicable only for service provider. வேற செக்ஷன் நம்பர் பாருங்க, section 10(2)(a). This scheme is applicable only for service provider, provided the suppliers aggregate turnover in a financial year was rupees 50 lakhs or below. That person is not eligible to pay tax under section 10. That is to say, if you are dealing in goods, you'll come there. If you are manufacturing in goods, you'll come there. If you are a supplier of food, restaurant services, outdoor catering services, you'll come there. Then don't come here. Can you able to understand that exclusivity? You are buying and selling of goods, 10(1), 150 lakhs. You are going to be trading in goods, 10(1), 150 lakhs. You are going to be manufacturing goods, 10(1), 150 lakhs. You are going to be a restaurant, outdoor catering, 10(1), 150 lakhs. Sir, I am a business consultant. I am a cost accountant. I am a chartered accountant. I am a manpower supply. I am a security person. I rent my property. I rent my Kalyana Mandap. I rent this. I rent that. In case of these small turnover people whose turnover less than 50 lakhs. If the aggregate turnover of a service person, okay, is less than 50 lakhs. Why I'm saying service person means other people are all excluded. In case if a person's turnover is less than 50 lakhs, then he is entitled for the scheme. Further discussions over here are, rest all is simple, rest all is notified. Eppadi sir solreenga theriyum. If he is covered under section 10, he is not covered under 10(1). If he is covered, not covered under 10(2)(a). He should not be engaged in non-taxable supply, that is liquor and petrol. He should not be engaged in interstate outward supply. This scheme is not applicable for casual taxable person and non-resident taxable person. Again, he should not supply his services through e-commerce operator. He should not be engaged in manufacture of notified goods. He shall not collect tax from the recipient. He is not entitled to claim input tax credit. In all his invoice, he should issue a bill of supply, and in all that he will say that he is a composition levy person. If a person satisfy all the conditions, which we have discussed above, then being a service provider, he is also eligible for a composition levy scheme, but the only difference is he will pay 3% CGST and 3% SGST as rate of tax. Trader, sorry, manufacturer, 0.5% CGST, 0.5% SGST, total turnover. Supply of food by restaurant or outdoor catering, 2.5 CGST, 2.5 SGST on state turnover. Trader, 0.5% CGST, 0.5% SGST on taxable turnover. Services, vanilla plain services, 3% CGST, 3% SGST on total turnover. Total turnover, 3%. If he satisfy all the condition, then he is also eligible for composition. This sums up your composition scheme. Accept in total. Tomorrow, we will revise the whole session once again and then do some problems relating to composition levy. Today, time is little running short. I know a lot of you have a next session. Make note of all your questions. I will take up all your questions. I also have a next session parallelly. So make note of all your questions. We will take up all the questions, everything tomorrow initially. 1 or 2 points, small point, 9394 is applicable to it. Points, 1 or 2 points alone is there. That alone I will discuss and we'll do certain problems and MCQ to get a grip on this topic and then proceed forward. Thank you all for an effective and patient listening. Thank you.